Good morning and welcome back to our English class. In our previous class, we discussed the grammatical parts of speech, which we say they are grammatical because they does not carry any lexical meaning, they does not carry any dictionary independent meaning, but they depend on other words, other parts of speech. They are only used as modifiers, and that is why we refer to them as lexical parts of speech, which we discuss article. And under article, we say we have three basic words that are referred to as article in English language. We talk about the. As a definite article, we talk about a and an. You can click our link below to watch and learn on the topic article. And today we'll be looking at the lexical parts of speech. When we talk about the lexical part of speech, we're talking about the eighth part of speech as is commonly known. The eighth part of speech in English language. You can as well refer to it as the word class. These are word class. There are word class in English language. Part of speech are also known as word class. We talk about word class because not every word in English language that falls under the same class. We have different word class, and this is what we are going to consider today. The eight parts of speech in English language are: 1. We have noun. 2. We have pronoun. 3. We have adjective. 4. We have verb. 5. We have adverb. 6. We have preposition. 7. We have conjunction. And lastly, but not the least, 8, we have interjection. These are the 8 word class or lexical parts of speech in English language: noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. So we first look at noun. What is a noun? When we talk about noun, what comes to your mind? When you heard the word noun, what comes to your mind? I know that we have been defining noun as a name of person, animal, place, or thing, which is actually good, but that definition is not complete because it goes beyond that. When we're talking about noun, we define noun as words that can name, or names of things, names of human beings, names of animals, names of ideas, names of activities. So noun, I define it here as words that can name. Noun, nouns are words that can name. Names. I say they are words that can name because noun is just a name of a place, animals, or things. There are other things that are nouns, but they are not places, they are not animals, they are not just things. Which we say there are some activities, like examination is an activity, it's a noun, and it's not a name of a place. When we talk about ideas, when we talk about things like knowledge, we are talking still emphasizing, we are still talking about nouns. So defining noun as a name of place, animals, or things, the definition is inadequate, it's not complete, it's not covering the totality of what noun is all about. So we can simply define noun as a word or group of words as words that can name. So in noun still, we have classes of noun. Noun as a word is umbrella of other words. So under noun, we have noun classes or classes of noun. Classes of noun. Noun is subdivided into different classes. One, we have what is called proper noun. Proper noun. What is proper noun? When we say proper noun, do we mean the other nouns are not proper? No. They are actually proper. But in this perspective, it means different things. When we're talking about proper nouns, we're referring to names like things, a name of a person, in a specific name given to a specific thing. For example, if I say John, John as a name of person, when I'm talking about John as a name, I'm referring to a particular person. And that is an example, a good example of a proper noun. If I say Lagos, for example, I'm referring to a particular place, and that makes it a what? A proper noun. If I say James, I'm talking about a proper noun, because proper noun is a direct reference type of noun. It's a noun that refers directly to a particular thing. And that is what makes it what? A proper noun. It talks about something specific, something particular, a name of somebody. A name of somebody. So we have also common nouns. We have also common nouns. Why are these ones common? When we're talking about common nouns, we're referring to words that are not specific, they are not particular. For example, we can say uncle. If I'm talking about uncle, I'm not referring to a particular person. I'm just talking about my relationship with somebody being my uncle. And as a person, I can have 2, 3, 4 uncles. But in this case, when I'm talking about uncle, I'm not talking about a particular person. I'm talking about a group of family relation. A group of family relation which could comprise of uncles, aunties, nephew, niece, and so many like that. So what makes it a proper noun is common noun is because it's not referring to a particular person, but it's referring to a family relationship name. And that is what makes it what? A common noun. And what are other things that can be referred to as common noun? We are talking about common noun. We're talking about objects like table, things like bench. They are also known as what? Common noun. Even the marker I'm holding is also a good example of what? Of common noun. We also have collective noun. Collective nouns. When we're talking about collective nouns, we're talking about collection of different or group of things coming together. It's not one, as the word collect is coming in. Collective is bringing different parts of something and making it one. That is what we're talking about collective now. We're talking about a good example of collective now. We talk about things like audience. When we say audience, we're not referring to one person, but we're referring to a group of people coming to speculate or observe an event. They are known as audience. It's not one person. And audience cannot be a singular or plural. Audience is audience and it refers to a group of people. When I say herds of sheep, the head there is telling us that it's not one sheep I'm referring to, but we're referring to what? A group of sheep. And we can say a gang of robbers. A gang of robbers is a good example of what? Collective now. When we say a gang of robbers, we're talking about the gang there is telling us that it's not one person, but it's a what? Collective group. Combination of different people coming to form that particular group. And we have another class of noun as what? as concrete noun. Concrete noun or nouns. When we talk about concrete nouns, we're referring to nouns that can be touched, can be felt. That is material things that you can touch them, you can feel them, you can carry it if possible. Example of concrete noun are things like table is a concrete noun because you can touch it, you can feel it. You can touch a bench, you can touch a chair, you can touch a cell phone. These are concrete nouns. Nouns that can be touched, can be felt. These are examples of what? Concrete nouns. We have abstract nouns. Abstract nouns. When we talk about abstract nouns, they are direct opposite of concrete nouns. Abstract nouns are the nouns that cannot be touched, cannot be felt, cannot be seen. Example of abstract noun words like knowledge. Even though knowledge is a noun, but you cannot touch knowledge. When we say wisdom, wisdom is a noun, but you cannot touch wisdom. When we say favor, favor is a noun, but we cannot touch favor, except in a situation where favor becomes a name of person and we're referring to person. But in this case, we're talking about favor as an abstract thing. So you cannot touch and you cannot feel abstract nouns. And we have what we call gerund noun. Gerund. Some do call it gerundive nouns. When we are talking about gerundive noun or gerund, we are referring to the type of noun that carry ing progression. ing progression at the end. Though they are like verbs, but their function in a sentence is different from that of a verb. But generally, some people call it verbal nouns. But they are nouns because they take position of a subject. They can take position of a subject in a sentence. They can perform the function of a noun in a sentence. A good example, I can say, fashion is my hobby. Fashioning is my hobby. Fashioning, ing progression at the end of the word fashion. But in this sentence, fashion here is standing in the place of the subject of the sentence. And we have is as the verb of the sentence and hobby as the object of the sentence. So, in this case, this fashioning can also be used in the place of a verb, but in this case, is used as a noun. We can say washing. Washing is what I like doing. Washing is what I like doing. Washing can be a verb in some other case, but in this case, washing noun has assumed the position of a subject of a sentence and is used as a noun. And these are good examples of what? Gerundive nouns. We say gerund nouns are nouns that carry ing progression. So these are classes of nouns we have in English language. Believe today we have come to the end of our class. As we continue next class on preposition and the rest of the part of speech. So I believe you enjoy the class. Click the link below and share it And don't be stingy to learn alone. Let others learn together with you. Thank you and welcome to our class, and God bless you.